Of sailors and Marines from around the world are off Virginia's coast right now. They're taking part in Bold Alligator 2014. Todd Carrillo with our Norfolk sister station was the only reporter in the region to fly out with the Navy this week. Here's a look at his trip. I want to actually tell you and show you what we know so far. Police were actually chasing a driver down Mechanicsville Turnpike when that driver actually jumped the curb trying to get away from police. You can see the skid marks from that chase right through the shopping complex. Several of you contacted the CBS 6 newsroom after seeing thick smoke from this 3-alarm fire in South Richmond. 12 city crews were called to the River City recycling warehouse. As part of this drill, a meticulous evaluation is happening with this mock patient. They're asking very serious health questions in the event this was a health threat. But things don't end here. He arrived here at St. Mary's Hospital, a plan of action that may one day mean the difference between life or death. Football fanatics, they were still out in large numbers today. Shauna Robertson joins me after a busy fan appreciation day for the Washington Redskins. How did it look? And now they are hosting a fundraiser along with big plans to honor her legacy. Now Chelsea Rarick joins us to tell us more about this event. I want you to take a walk with me just for a moment so you can get an idea, a better idea of what they are using. If you look just beyond this fence, you can see these large trucks. And I am one contact having Jerrita Patterson filling in for Reba.
How do you do that?
I know. Yeah. The Sykes say they are lucky these fallen trees managed to avoid crushing this nearly 500-gallon propane tank. Better Business Bureau is saying there is power, folks, in your delete button on your computer. As scam artists, they are stooping to an all-time low. But I can tell you this wind, folks, it is brutal. So don't even worry about doing your hair today. Forego putting on any false eyelashes. And if you have outdoor plans like possibly tomorrow's Bacon Festival, things are looking up. Mike Goldberg is standing by the Weather Center to tell us if this gorgeous forecast is here to stay. The 2 victims that have been recovered, their bodies have been sent to the medical examiner's office for positive identification. You can bet as we learn more information, we will pass that along both on air and online at WTVR.com. But that is the latest from here in Caroline County. Jerrita Patterson for CBS 6 News. Stephanie, back to you.
Our Jerrita Patterson is working the story for you tonight and joins us outside of our Broad Street studios. And Jerrita, why and how did this happen?
Well, Julie, it's the why that school leaders are still trying to figure out. Now, there is a bit of a dispute on how that student ended up lost in the first place. The 13-year-old is saying he was forced out of the security officer's car, while the officer is saying that student jumped out. Regardless, the boy's parents are looking for answers, and they want someone held accountable.
So I was like, bro, so why you lie to me? You ain't had to lie to me like that, bro. That's
strong words from a father who says he has every right to be angry after he claims his son, Khalil Drummond, was taken without permission from Martin Luther King Middle by a school security officer.
I said, this is not even where I live. And he said, I'm just standing right here. I'm coming right back. I'm going to get your address and your phone number.
Fred Young says the officer went looking for that information at Armstrong High, where Khalil's older sister goes.
And then he asked me, did I have any family that lived around here? And I said, yes, my grandma. And then that's when he asked Miss Brown, could I go to my grandma's house?
Tylea spent nearly 20 minutes looking for her lost brother, allegedly without the principal even knowing she was gone.
She didn't know. She didn't know nothing. You know what I'm saying? When I say nothing, she didn't know nothing.
From the time Khalil was taken away from Martin Luther King Middle School inside that security guard's personal vehicle, it was more than a mile away, and 5.5 hours later when he was found just outside Fairfield Elementary. But what happened Friday is a violation of school policy, according to this man,
Chief of Safety and Security,
Timothy Mallory. In fact, school leaders are now investigating.
At this point, through preliminary investigation, shows that staff have violated school board policy and procedures as it relates to transporting students in private vehicles.
That's the bad part.
Something Fred Young also wants answered.
That makes me feel very disgusted at the school system.
Now, Julie, we have been told disciplinary action will likely be taken. As for that open investigation, it is expected to be complete by next week. You can bet we will keep you updated. We're live in Richmond this evening. Jerrita Patterson, CBS 6 News. Back to you.
Tree snapped off there, and that's where it landed at over there.
Hanover County was one of the hardest hit areas following an active weather weekend across central Virginia.
It looked like a war zone, and at first you kind of hesitant. You're really afraid to look at the damage because we knew we had damage.
But as Thelma and Vern Sykes surveyed the devastation surrounding their home, what they found were trees snapped in half like matchsticks.
One was pulled up. We had two.
While other trees pierced through a side fence, nearly crushing this 500-gallon propane tank. Nearly 30 miles away, here in New Kent County, a similar situation playing out as large and massive trees have been ripped from its roots, leaving behind deep pockets of damage. The storm tore through a cluster of trees outside Paul Smith's home.
I knew it had blew something over because, you know, when I came out of the house, I could see open space where trees were supposed to be.
Smith says he was actually making his way back inside his house when the first signs of the storm appeared.
I was in the car, but I couldn't even see. You could hardly see anything. It was almost instantaneous. Leaving behind a trail of damage in its wake, in addition to trees being knocked down. I wasn't expecting it to be blown over.
The power was knocked out.
We've got a generator that's taking care of the basic things. It just starts when the storm passes. Matter of fact, me and those steel will get to work tomorrow on it. Steel chainsaw.
Jerrita Patterson, CBS 6 News.